Good evening, student. My topic is about monitoring of the VPRO's low temperature sterilization process. Here are some objectives that we are attaining on our projects. These are the contents that we're going to be following up. Why monitoring is being done. In other words, purpose of it. Monitoring covers all aspects of the sterilization process from preparation and loading to results, interpretation, and documentation. Who it applies to, in other words, scope. This protocol applies to all personnel whose actions influence the sterility of medical device and instruments, such as we ourselves as a SSD technician, supervisors, and responsibilities includes cleaning, preparing, sterilizing, packaging, and storing RMDs. How to complete the monitoring process for low temperature VPRO sterilization. First of all, we have to follow the step by step, like it has to start from the cleaning, the sterilization. Cleaning and sterilization, visually inspect the interior of the VPRO sterilizer for any visible debris or residues such as VPRO tapes, VPRO labels, and hydrogen peroxide residues. Before we do that, after visual inspection, we have to wear the PPE gear to protect ourselves, especially with the hydrogen peroxide residues. And also gather supplies such as BIs, hydrogen peroxide for the VPRO, chemical indicators, stillen, clothes, eye protectors. And how to load sterilizer. Before we loading the sterilizer, make sure your RMDs are packed into the proper packaging using correct sterilization wraps, and also PI has been followed with it, like for example a cycle running with the flexible cycles, and the placement of the BI is supposed to be on the bottom rack or center of the load or within the device. Load configuration: do not overload the machine. The reason of do not overloading the machine is to, if you overload the machine, it won't penetrate the vibration into the RMDs because of the conjunctions of the sterilization of RMDs, which won't penetrate the hydrogen peroxide to and from to the RMDs. Selecting the start cycles, selecting and starting the cycles. We have to make sure the cycles that we choose for our RMDs are according to the IFU of the RMDs, which is like non-lumen, lumen cycle, flexible cycles, and error monitoring. We have to double check the error that's shown on the screen as what needed to be done. Like if the cycle has been aborted, what is the reason for the cycle has been aborted? If the cycle has been aborted, it can be moist, it can be hydrogen peroxide expiry date, it can be too much RMDs are overloaded in the machines. It can mean anything, and for that we need to go out according to the sterilization manual. For that, to be troubleshooting the steps that is needed to be done, and also inform the team leader and to the superior who's in charge of the department as what is needed to be done on there. Also tell them that the VPRO is out of service for certain period of time. If needed, be call the technician for the companies that is looking after the VPROs and ask them to come and solve these issues for us. Post-cycle monitoring. Here we are monitoring about the printout verifications. We have to look at the printout, the temperature, the pressure, the hydrogen peroxide concentration, and the time and the date which the cycle has been started. By doing that, we have to ensure all parameters are within validated range throughout the cycles. If it goes up and down, that means there is some issues, and it is a possibility that it will fail the cycle. So document the result on the VPRO sterilization cycle record log sheets, initial and date the printout. Chemical indicators also is the monitoring cycles. Observe the color change for the VPRO tape and label, which is supposed to be orange when it's unsterilized, and if it's sterilized it goes to the yellow as shown below, and document them on the log sheets. BI incubation. Open the sterilized BI and label it test with the current date. Obtain an unsterile BI to use as a control, labeling it as control with the date as well. Using BI crusher, crush both the test and control BIs. Place them in the incubator for 24 to 48 hours according to the manufacturer instructions for the correct incubation time. The reason why we are testing it for 24 hours because we don't have the one as reading as 7 minutes one. The reason is if we read the BI for within the 7 minutes, it'll be a faster reactions of the BI to be changing its color, and if there is a bacteria spousing in, it will tell us within 7 minutes. But this one we are leaving it for 24 hours because of the standards we have and protocol we follow in Southern Cross Hospital, and the examples are shown in the below. Log sheets recording using the VPRO sterilization record sheets. On the side we have the sterilizer ID, cycle that we choose to, for example VPRO, for example lumen, non-lumen, flexible cycle, load content, what is in that cycle. For example, in flexible load, what camera can be gone in there, and if it's a non-lumen, 3D tip cam can go in there. Load BI content, BI lot number and expiration date is also written on the log sheets. Chemical indicators also written on there as when the chemical lot number of the chemical indicators and the expiry date, incubation start and date on the sheets. BI result pass or fail, printout pass or fail, operators initials. Every time the load comes out, each and every technician we have, we're gonna sign the information and read the printout of from the VPROs. Interpreting BI results. BI results, as you can see on my left hand side, it says pass after incubation period. The BI shows no color change. The BI, if there is a no color change, which is remaining orange, which is pass, and if the BI, which is cooked one, changes its color, which is on my left hand side, it shows for the left hand side, it shows the test and the control has changed the color, which means the bacteria has grown and there is no way that we can process this RMDs afterwards. Is the reason is the BI has been failed. Responding to a failure, make sure you quarantine immediately to entire load and before that load has been processed. Before the load has been processed further. Reporting the issues immediately to their supervisor or infection control department and to the superior. Make sure you investigate. Investigate is from the maintenance of the record. Check sterilizer calibration. Check retest the BI, minimum of 3 consecutive successful tests. If it's passed, then we can use the sterilizer. If it's not, then we need to investigate as well. Complete an incident report form online, which is Safe Hub. We have any information. If it's a machine goes out of service, we need to report online as a Safe Hub on our system, so that our superior know that okay, this particular time this machine has gone out of service, so that they can arrange or another hospital for our instrument to be processed after the BI has been tested in their department, or we can call the technician to look into what the issue is about. Routine cleaning and testing. Weekly cleaning. Weekly cleaning is routine cleaning of how we clean the machines, and also leak. After the cleaning, we make sure we have to run the leak rate cycles. Leak rate cycle is done accordingly to the VPRO specification reason. As soon as the leak rate test has finished, we run the cycle with a flexible cycle with BI, following BI to verify its sterilization performance, and filling log sheets. Fill log sheets according to facility policies, typically monthly. Store log sheets for the duration specified by facility policy and regulatory requirements, specifically 3 years from the records been gathered. Align with the industry standards. Here are the standards that has been aligned, and I've been choosing it for my process, which is this protocol aligns with the industry standard for sterilization monitoring, includes IS 5369-2023, ISO 2022-4112-2022, ISO 11607-2019. The key elements of alignment: use of mechanical, chemical, and biological indicators, BI placement in challenging areas, cycle sections based on instrument, printout verification, define, reprocess, response to sterilization failures, routine cleaning and testing, accurate record keeping, best evidence of practice. This protocol demonstrates a commitment to the best practice by following a structured step-by-step approach from cleaning to sterilization, and recording all the information that we can obtain from, and also monitoring the printout, BIs, and chemical indicators, and hydrogen peroxide of the expiry date, and so forth. Incorporating multiple monitoring methods, mechanical, chemical, and biological indicators. Here we also monitor all those informations. Defining clear pass or fail criteria. If the BI pass, we proceed on to sterilization. If the BI fail, then we have to quarantine. All the RMDs that we have processed through has to go through under quarantine and has to be reprocessed after the 3 consecutive load has confirmed that BI is no issue with the failure. It's gonna pass. Also, the BI can be an issue with crushing, how you crush the BI. If it's not been properly crushed, that means there is an issue with it. Then we have to redo the BIs so that it passes. Establishing a comprehensive response plan for failures. If there is a failure, we have to follow the instructions of how we can refix the issues of failures. For example, aborting if the cycle has been running and it's aborted on the way, how we can maintain on that, and what needs to be done, and how it needs to be done, etc. Refreshing relevant industry standard and guidelines throughout. Make sure we follow the standards that we use as IS 5369. And here's some conclusions. By following this VPRO sterilization monitoring protocol, we can ensure the effective sterilization of medical device and protect our patients from infections. And here are the references that I have used for. Thank you.